Sarah hesitates for a moment, glancing at her desk cluttered with paperwork and her laptop screen filled with emails. She types a quick response. Sarah texts, "Is everything okay? Why the sudden need for cleaning?" A moment later, the guard replies. Guard text, "Just a little situation. Trust me, it's important." Sarah bites her lip, curiosity piqued. She glances at the clock. It's still early in the afternoon. She decides to take a break from her work. Sarah, to herself, what could possibly need cleaning at the boss's house? She grabs her purse and heads out of the office, her mind racing with possibilities. The guard's house is only a few blocks away, and she arrives quickly. The guard is waiting at the door, looking more serious than usual. Guard, thanks for coming, Sarah. I appreciate it. Sarah, confused, what's going on? Is everything all right? The guard steps aside, allowing her to enter. The house is immaculate, but there's an air of tension. Guard, closing the door, it's not about the cleaning. I need your help with something else. Sarah raises an eyebrow, intrigued. Sarah, okay, what do you need? The guard leads her to a small room at the back of the house. Inside, there's a large, locked cabinet. Guard, this cabinet contains some sensitive documents. I need you to help me organize them. The boss doesn't know I'm doing this, but it's important for his safety. Sarah, surprised, sensitive documents? What kind of documents? The guard hesitates, glancing around as if ensuring they're alone. Guard, lowering his voice, information about some of the company's dealings. There are people who would do anything to get their hands on this. I can't let the boss find out I'm involved, but I can't do it alone either. Sarah's heart races. She's always known there was more to her boss's work than met the eye, but this was unexpected. Sarah, nervously, what do you need me to do? Guard, opening the cabinet, just help me sort through these files. We need to make sure everything is in order and nothing is missing. Sarah nods, feeling a mix of excitement and apprehension. They begin to sift through the documents, and as they do, she notices some names and figures that seem suspicious. Sarah, pointing to a file, wait, who is this? The guard leans in, his expression darkening. Guard, that's what I'm worried about. This person has been linked to some shady deals. If the boss finds out, it could put him in danger. As they continue to sort through the files, Sarah's phone buzzes again. It's a message from the boss. Boss text, just checking in. Everything okay? Sarah glances at the guard, who looks tense. Sarah, typing back, all good. Just busy with some paperwork. She puts her phone down, feeling the weight of the situation. The guard pulls out a file marked confidential and opens it. Guard, this is the one we need to focus on. It has information about a deal that went wrong. If it gets out, it could ruin everything. Sarah leans closer, her curiosity piqued. As they read through the file, she realizes the implications of what they're dealing with. Sarah, whispering, we need to be careful. If someone finds out we're looking at this. Suddenly, there's a loud knock at the door. Both Sarah and the guard freeze, exchanging worried glances. Guard, whispering, hide the files. They quickly shove the documents back into the cabinet, and close it just as the door swings open. A tall, imposing figure enters the room, an unfamiliar man in a dark suit. Man, smirking, I hope I'm not interrupting anything important. Sarah's heart races as she realizes they're in deeper than she ever anticipated. Sarah, thinking quickly, no, just organizing some things for the boss. The man steps closer, his eyes narrowing as he studies them. Man, with a sly grin, good. Because I have a feeling there are some things that need to be sorted out. The tension in the room thickens as Sarah and the guard. The man's presence looms over them, and Sarah feels a chill run down her spine. She exchanges a quick glance with the guard, who looks ready to spring into action. Guard, calmly, can I help you with something? Man, smirking, just came to check on a few things. You know how it is keeping tabs on the operation. Sarah's mind races. She can sense that this man is not just a casual visitor. He's here for something specific. Sarah, trying to sound casual, everything's fine here. Just routine paperwork, right? The man steps closer, his eyes narrowing as he inspects the room. Sarah can feel the tension rising. Man, leaning in, I've heard some interesting things about this place. Rumors of documents that shouldn't be seen by just anyone. The guard stiffens, and Sarah's heart pounds in her chest. She knows they need to act fast. Guard, firmly, we're just doing our jobs. If you have concerns, you should take them up with the boss. Man, chuckling, oh, I plan to. But I think it's best if I take a look around first. He starts to move toward the cabinet, and Sarah's instincts kick in. She steps in front of him, trying to buy time. Sarah, smiling nervously, why don't we just wait for the boss? He'll be back soon, and he can explain everything. The man's expression darkens, and he leans closer, his voice low and threatening. Man, intimidatingly, I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation, sweetheart. I'm not here to play games. Just then, Sarah's phone buzzes again, and she glances down. It's another message from the boss. Boss text, I'm on my way back. Is everything okay? Sarah's mind races. She knows she has to stall for time. Sarah, trying to sound confident, look, if you're looking for something specific, I'm sure we can help you find it. But you really should wait for the boss. He'll want to be involved in any discussions about sensitive matters. The man narrows his eyes, clearly annoyed but intrigued by her defiance. Man, smirking, you're a feisty one, aren't you? But I don't have time to play nice. He reaches for the cabinet, but the guard steps in front of him, blocking his path. Guard, sternly, you need to leave. Now. The man's expression shifts from amusement to irritation. He takes a step back, assessing the situation. Man, sneering, you think you can protect her? You have no idea what you're dealing with. Suddenly, the sound of a car pulling into the driveway echoes through the house. Sarah's heart races as she realizes the boss is back. Sarah, urgently, you need to go. Now. The man glances toward the door, weighing his options. He takes a step back, but not before giving them a warning. Man, menacingly, this isn't over. I'll be watching you both. With that, he turns and strides out of the room, leaving Sarah and the guard in stunned silence. They exchange worried glances as the boss enters the house, looking slightly disheveled but otherwise composed. Boss, cheerfully, hey, I'm back. What's going on here? Sarah quickly steps forward, trying to mask her anxiety. Sarah, forcing a smile, just some routine paperwork, boss. Everything's fine. The guard shoots her a look, silently urging her to be careful. The boss raises an eyebrow, sensing the tension in the room. Boss, suspiciously, you sure? You both look a little on edge. Sarah takes a deep breath, deciding to be honest but cautious. Sarah, carefully, we had an unexpected visitor. He was asking questions about some documents. The boss's expression darkens, and he glances at the guard. Boss, seriously, what kind of questions? Guard, stepping in, he seemed to know more than he should. I think he's connected to some of the shady dealings we've been worried about. The boss's face hardens as he processes the information. Boss, firmly, we need to be. As Sarah starts dusting the ornate furniture, she glances around the lavishly decorated room. The walls are adorned with framed photographs of the boss with various dignitaries and celebrities. A grand piano sits in the corner, and the air is thick with an unsettling silence. Sarah, muttering to herself, this is definitely not what I expected. She picks up a feather duster and begins to clean the piano, her mind racing with questions. Why was she asked to clean? What kind of office was this? Suddenly, the guard steps closer, his expression stern. Guard, interrupting her thoughts, focus on the task, please. The boss doesn't like distractions. Sarah, sighing, right, of course. Just, what does the boss do anyway? The guard narrows his eyes, clearly not pleased with her curiosity. Guard, firmly, that's not your concern. Just keep cleaning. Sarah nods, but her curiosity is piqued even more. She continues to dust, but her eyes wander to a door at the end of the hallway, slightly ajar. A faint light spills out, and she can hear muffled voices. After a few moments of internal debate, she decides to take a risk. She quietly moves toward the door, her heart racing. Sarah, whispering to herself just a quick peek. As she approaches, she can make out snippets of conversation. Voice 1, urgent, we can't let anyone find out. If the information leaks, it's over for us. Voice 2, nervous, but what if they already know? We need to act fast. Sarah's breath catches in her throat. She realizes this is more than just an office. It's a hub of something secretive and possibly dangerous. Just then, the guard appears behind her, his expression darkening. Guard, hissing, I told you to focus on cleaning. Startled, Sarah stumbles back, her heart pounding. Sarah, stammering, I heard voices. Guard, stepping closer, you need to leave. Now. Sarah's mind races. She can't just walk away without knowing more. She takes a deep breath, summoning her courage. Sarah, defiantly, no. I want to know what's going on here. The guard's eyes widen in surprise, but he quickly regains his composure. Guard, coldly, you don't understand the danger you're in. This isn't a game. Sarah stands her ground, her determination growing. Sarah, firmly, then tell me. What is this place? What are you hiding? The guard hesitates, his expression shifting from anger to something resembling concern. Guard, sighing, you really want to know? Fine. But you need to understand that once you're in, there's no going back. Sarah nods, her heart racing with a mix of fear and excitement. Sarah, I'm ready. The guard glances back at the door, then at Sarah, weighing his options. Guard, reluctantly, all right. But you have to promise to keep your mouth shut. Follow me. He leads her down the hallway, and as they approach the door, Sarah can feel the weight of the secrets that lie beyond it. The muffled voices grow louder, and she steels herself for whatever revelation awaits her. As the guard pushes the door open, Sarah steps inside, ready to uncover the truth. As Sarah steps into the room, she is met with a stark contrast to the opulence of the rest of the house. The walls are lined with maps and documents, and a large table in the center is cluttered with files, laptops, and various electronic devices. A group of people, all dressed in business attire, are huddled around the table, their expressions tense. Sarah, wide-eyed, what is this place? The guard closes the door behind them, and the group turns to face Sarah, their expressions a mix of surprise and suspicion. Leader, a middle-aged woman with sharp features, who is she? Guard, defensive, she's the new office assistant. I caught her snooping around. Leader, narrowing her eyes, you brought her here? This is not a place for outsiders. Sarah, interrupting, I'm not an outsider. I want to know what's going on. The room falls silent, and the tension thickens. The leader exchanges glances with her team before sighing. Leader, reluctantly, fine. But you need to understand that this is serious. We're involved in something that could change everything. Sarah's heart races as she steps closer, her curiosity overwhelming her fear. Sarah, eagerly, what do you mean? What are you working on? The leader gestures for Sarah to sit at the table. The others watch her closely, their expressions wary. Leader, sitting down, we're part of a task force investigating a series of corporate espionage cases. High-level executives have been leaking sensitive information to rival companies, and we're trying to uncover who's behind it. Sarah, shocked, corporate espionage? But why would anyone want to do that? Analyst, a young man with glasses, money, power, influence. It's all connected. If we can expose the culprits, we can prevent a major scandal that could affect thousands of employees. Sarah's mind races as she processes the information. This was far beyond her expectations of a simple office job. Sarah, thoughtfully, so, what do you need me for? Leader, leaning forward, we need someone on the inside. Someone who can gather information without raising suspicion. You have access to the office, and you can observe without drawing attention. Sarah's heart pounds. This was a chance to be part of something significant, but it also came with risks. Sarah, hesitant, but what if I get caught? Guard, seriously, if you're discovered, it could jeopardize everything we've worked for. You need to be careful. Sarah looks around the room, seeing the determination in the faces of the team. She feels a surge of adrenaline. Sarah, resolutely, I'll do it. I want to help. The leader nods, a hint of approval in her eyes. Leader, firmly, good. We'll provide you with the information you need to look for. Just remember, trust no one. As the team begins to brief Sarah on their findings and strategies, she feels a mix of excitement and trepidation. She's stepping into a world of intrigue and danger, but she knows she can't turn back now. After the meeting, the guard pulls Sarah aside. Guard, quietly, you need to be careful. This isn't just about cleaning anymore. You're in deep. Sarah, nodding, I understand. I'll be cautious. As she leaves the room, Sarah feels a sense of purpose. She's no longer just an office assistant, she's part of something bigger. But as she walks back through the house, she can't shake the feeling that she's being watched. Days pass, and Sarah begins her dual life. By day, she cleans and organizes the office, but by night, she gathers information, listening in on conversations and piecing together clues. The thrill of the chase invigorates her, but the weight of the secrets she carries begins to take its toll. One evening, while sorting through files, she stumbles upon a document that sends chills down her spine. It details a plan to sabotage a major corporate merger, and the names of the people involved are ones she recognizes from the photographs in the boss's house. Her heart races as she realizes the implications. This isn't just corporate espionage, it's a conspiracy that could ruin lives. Just then, the guard appears in the doorway, his expression grave. Guard, urgently, we need to talk. Sarah, whispering, this can't be real. She quickly scans the room, her heart racing. The living room, once a place of comfort, now feels like a trap. She glances at the door, half expecting someone to walk in at any moment. Sarah takes a deep breath and continues to sift through the documents. Names, dates, and amounts jump out at her, each more incriminating than the last. She finds a folder labeled Project Phoenix, and opens it. Sarah, reading aloud. Phase 1, Acquisition of Competitors' Assets through Unethical Means. Her mind races. She remembers the recent layoffs at her company, and the whispers of a merger that never seemed to happen. This was bigger than she thought. Suddenly, she hears a noise from the hallway. Her heart pounds as she quickly shoves the documents back into the compartment, and closes it, trying to act casual. James, entering the room. Hey, Sarah. What are you up to? Sarah forces a smile, her mind still racing. Sarah, oh, just tidying up. You know how it is. James raises an eyebrow, sensing something off but not pressing further. James, right. Well, I was thinking we could order some dinner. What do you say? Sarah, nervously, sure, sounds good. As James pulls out his phone to order, Sarah's mind is elsewhere. She can't shake the feeling that she's stumbled onto something dangerous. She needs to find out more. After dinner, as James settles in to watch TV, Sarah pretends to join him but instead sneaks back to the hidden compartment. She retrieves the documents, her hands trembling. Sarah, to herself, I have to get these to someone who can help. She quickly takes photos of the most damning pages with her phone, her mind racing with possibilities. Just as she finishes, she hears footsteps approaching. Panicking, she shoves the documents back into the compartment and closes it, just as James walks in. James, smiling, what are you hiding from me? Sarah's heart races. She can't let him know what she's found. Sarah, forcing a laugh, just some old papers. Nothing important. James looks at her, his expression unreadable. Sarah feels a chill run down her spine. James, casually, you know, I've been thinking, we should really trust each other more. Secrets can be dangerous. Sarah's stomach drops. Is he onto her? Sarah, nervously, of course. Trust is important. As James turns back to the TV, Sarah's mind races. She needs to find a way to expose the truth without putting herself in danger. She decides to reach out to her friend, Lucy, a journalist known for uncovering corporate corruption. The next day, Sarah meets Lucy at a cafe, her heart pounding as she hands over the photos. Lucy, examining the images. Wow, Sarah. This is huge. Are you sure you want to get involved in this? Sarah, determined I can't just sit back and let this happen. People's lives are at stake. Lucy, nodding all right. I'll dig deeper, but you need to be careful. If they find out you're involved. Sarah nods, understanding the gravity of the situation. As she leaves the cafe, she feels a mix of fear and empowerment. She's taken the first step toward exposing the truth. Back at home, Sarah tries to act normal around James, but the tension is palpable. She can't shake the feeling that he's watching her closely. Days pass, and Lucy keeps her updated on the investigation. The more they uncover, the more dangerous it becomes. Sarah learns that the company is involved in money laundering and bribery, and the stakes are higher than she ever imagined. One evening, as Sarah is cleaning again, she hears a knock at the door. It's Lucy, looking frantic. Lucy, whispering, we need to talk. Now. Sarah's heart races as she lets Lucy in, closing the door behind her. Lucy, urgent, they know. Someone's been watching you. We have to get you out of here. Sarah's mind spins. She never wanted to be in this position, but now she's in too deep. Sarah, determined, no. I can't run. As the guard exits, Sarah glances around the dimly lit room, her pulse still racing. She knows she has little time before he returns. Sarah, muttering to herself, I can't let him find out. She quickly pulls the documents from their hiding place beneath a loose floorboard. They are filled with sensitive information about the facility's operations, details that could expose the corruption within. Suddenly, the door creaks open again, and the guard re-enters, his expression more intense than before. Guard, crossing his arms, I thought I heard something. You're not hiding anything from me, are you? Sarah, forcing a smile, no, of course not. Just tidying up. The guard steps closer, his eyes scanning the room. Sarah's heart pounds in her chest as she tries to maintain her composure. Guard, leaning in, you know, I've been watching you. You're too good at this job. Almost like you're trying to find something. Sarah's mind races. She knows she has to think fast. Sarah, feigning innocence, I just want to do my job well. Isn't that what you want too? The guard narrows his eyes, unconvinced. He takes a step back, but his gaze lingers on her. Guard, slowly, just remember, I'm always watching. He turns to leave, but Sarah can't shake the feeling that he knows more than he's letting on. As the door clicks shut, she quickly returns to the documents, her hands trembling. She flips through the pages, her eyes scanning for the most critical information. Suddenly, she hears a noise outside the door, a faint whisper. Voice, hush Sarah. Are you in there? It's James, her ally on the inside. She rushes to the door and cracks it open, peering out. Sarah, whispering, what are you doing here? James, glancing around nervously, I heard about the guard's suspicion. We need to move fast. Sarah glances back at the room, her heart racing. Sarah, urgently, I have the documents. We can expose them, but the guard is on to me. James, nodding, we need to get out of here. I have a plan, but we have to be careful. Sarah hesitates, knowing the risk involved. But the thought of the corruption going unchecked fuels her determination. Sarah, resolutely, let's do it. They quickly gather the documents, and Sarah hides them in her bag. As they prepare to leave, the guard's voice echoes from down the hall. Guard, calling out Sarah. Are you still in there? Panic sets in as Sarah and James exchange worried glances. James, whispering urgently, we have to go now. They slip out of the room just as the guard approaches. They duck into a nearby storage closet, holding their breath as the guard enters the room. Guard, muttering to himself, where did she go? Sarah and James can hear his footsteps getting closer. They press themselves against the wall, trying to remain silent. Sarah, barely audible, what if he finds us? James, whispering back, he won't. Just stay quiet. The guard searches the room, his frustration growing. After what feels like an eternity, he finally leaves, slamming the door behind him. Sarah, exhaling, that was too close. James, nodding, we need to get to the exit. They slip out of the closet and make their way through the dimly lit corridors, their hearts pounding in unison. As they approach the exit, they hear voices ahead. Guard 2, laughing, did you see how paranoid he was? Sarah and James freeze, realizing they can't go that way. Sarah, whispering, we need another route. They quickly backtrack, searching for an alternate exit. As they turn a corner, they spot a window that leads outside. James, pointing there. They rush to the window, but it's locked. Sarah fumbles with the latch, her hands shaking. Sarah, frantically, come on, come on! Just as she manages to pry it open. As Sarah scrolls through her phone, her brow furrows in concentration. The names and companies she's come across are linked to a series of suspicious transactions and cover-ups. She jots down a few key points in her notebook. Sarah, muttering, if these connections are true, it could expose a massive network. Suddenly, her phone buzzes. It's a text from her friend, James. Text from James. Hey, are you okay? You've been quiet. Want to grab coffee? Sarah hesitates, glancing at the documents again. She knows she should take a break, but the urgency of her findings pulls her in. Sarah, typing. I'm fine, just busy with some research. Can we do it later? She hits send and returns to her notes. A name catches her eye. Carter Industries. She remembers hearing about them in the news recently, linked to a controversial environmental project. Sarah, to herself, they were under fire for that. But what if it's more than just bad PR? She types, Carter Industries scandal, into her search bar. As the results load, she leans back, her mind racing. The screen fills with articles detailing protests, whistleblower accounts, and a mysterious disappearance of a key employee. Sarah's heart races as she clicks on a video interview with the whistleblower. Whistleblower on screen. They were covering up illegal dumping. I had proof, but they threatened me. I had to go into hiding. Sarah's eyes widen. This could be the lead she needs. Sarah, whispering, I need to find this person. She scribbles down the whistleblower's name and the last known location mentioned in the video. Just then, she hears a noise from the hallway. Her heart skips a beat. The door creaks open, and her roommate, Lucy, steps in, looking concerned. Lucy, hey, you okay? You've been in here for hours. Sarah, forcing a smile, yeah, just deep in research. Lucy, eyeing the documents, looks intense. What's going on? Sarah, hesitating, it's about Carter Industries. I think they're involved in something much bigger than anyone realizes. Lucy, raising an eyebrow, like what? Sarah, leaning in, lowering her voice, I think they're covering up environmental crimes. And I found a whistleblower who might have proof. Lucy's expression shifts from concern to intrigue. Lucy, that sounds dangerous. Are you sure you want to dig deeper? Sarah, determined, I have to. If this is true, people need to know. Lucy nods, her expression serious. Lucy, okay, but you're not doing this alone. Let me help. Sarah smiles, grateful for the support. Sarah, thanks, Lucy. I could use a partner in this. They both lean over the documents, strategizing their next steps. Sarah pulls out her laptop and begins to compile a list of contacts related to the whistleblower. Sarah, first, we need to find out where this whistleblower is hiding. If we can get in touch, we might be able to uncover the truth. As they work, the atmosphere shifts from tense to focused, the thrill of the investigation igniting a fire in both of them. Suddenly, Sarah's phone buzzes again. It's an unknown number. Sarah, frowning, who could this be? She answers cautiously. Sarah, hello? Mysterious voice, low and urgent, you need to stop looking into Carter Industries. You're in over your head. Sarah's heart races as she exchanges glances with Lucy, who looks alarmed. Sarah, defiantly, who is this? Mysterious voice, cutting her off, just listen. They're watching you. Back off while you still can. The line goes dead, leaving Sarah and Lucy in stunned silence. Lucy, whispering, what do we do now? Sarah, gritting her teeth, we keep going. If they're watching, it means we're onto something. With renewed determination, they dive back into their research, unaware of the shadows lurking just outside their window. A call for help. Later that night, Sarah sneaks into her small apartment, heart pounding. She locks the door and double-checks the windows before sitting down with a heavy sigh. Moments later, Lucy arrives, her expression a mix of curiosity and concern. "Lucy, softly, okay, show me what you've got." Sarah, nervously here. She pulls out a small stack of papers from her bag. It's a list of shipments, dates, and names. The names? I recognize some of them. They're officials. Lucy, browsing the documents, these look like bribes. And the guard's name is here too. Pauses. This is serious, Sarah. We need to move carefully. Sarah, anxiously, what should we do? Lucy, decisively, first, we need more evidence. I can trace some of these shipments, see where they're going. But you need to lay low for a while. If they suspect you know something, you could be in danger. Sarah, nodding okay. What do you need from me? Lucy, thoughtfully, anything else you can remember about the house? Any odd behavior, places they might store things? Sarah, thinking there's a locked room in the basement. I've never been allowed near it. The guard spends a lot of time there. Lucy, determined that's a start. I'll do some digging. In the meantime, stay safe and keep this. She gestures to the documents hidden. Sarah, worried, and if they find out? Lucy, reassuringly, they won't. We'll expose them before they have a chance to cover their tracks. Trust me. Sarah nods, a flicker of hope in her eyes. Lucy stands, her mind already racing through the possibilities as she prepares to uncover the truth behind the conspiracy. The following day, Lucy, dressed casually, visits a local cafe known for its privacy. She pulls out her laptop, tapping quickly as she starts tracing the details from the documents Sarah provided. As she works, a message pops up on her screen. Be careful. They're watching. Startled, Lucy looks around but sees nothing unusual. Lucy, muttering to herself, looks like I'm not the only one with eyes on this. Undeterred, Lucy continues her search, determined to uncover the truth before it's too late. Later that evening, Sarah is alone in the storage room, nervously glancing over her shoulder. She feels the weight of the guard's threat lingering in the air. Her curiosity battles her fear. Finally, she decides to investigate further, driven by a gut feeling that something isn't right. Sarah, whispering to herself, just one quick look, nothing more. Sarah carefully moves some old boxes and discovers a hidden compartment in the floor. Her heart pounds as she pries it open, revealing a small, locked journal. She hesitates for a moment before taking it out. Sarah, whispering, what could be so dangerous about this? Suddenly, footsteps echo down the hall. Sarah quickly hides the journal under her apron and pretends to continue cleaning as the guard enters again. Guard, coldly, still here? Thought you'd be done by now. Sarah, forcing a smile, just finishing up. The guard eyes her suspiciously but says nothing. He turns and walks away, leaving Sarah alone once more. She breathes a sigh of relief and slips away to her quarters, eager to examine the journal in private. In her room, Sarah carefully unlocks the journal using a small pin she found. Inside, she finds entries detailing illicit activities, corruption, and secrets that could bring down powerful figures within the organization. She realizes the guard's threat wasn't empty, he was protecting more than just his own interests. Sarah, whispering, this could change everything. Determined, Sarah knows she must get this information to someone who can help, but she must be cautious. She decides to seek out her old friend Michael, who works in a nearby town and has connections to the local resistance. The next morning, Sarah quietly packs her belongings, concealing the journal among her clothes. She plans her escape, knowing the guard will be watching. She takes a deep breath as she makes her way towards the exit, where Michael has arranged for a discreet pickup. Sarah, to herself, just stay calm, you can do this. As she approaches the gate, the guard appears, blocking her path. Guard, grinning, going somewhere? Sarah, calmly, just delivering some supplies. The guard steps aside, but his eyes follow her every move. Sarah keeps her composure as she passes through the gate and into the waiting carriage. Once inside, she exhales, clutching the journal tightly. Michael, reassuringly, you're safe now. Let's get you out of here. As the carriage pulls away, Sarah knows this is only the beginning of her fight against the corruption she has uncovered. The cafe buzzes with the hum of conversations, but at Sarah and Lucy's table, tension fills the air. Lucy, leaning in, voice low, then we have to be careful. But sitting on this won't make it go away. We can't let fear stop us. Sarah, glancing around nervously, I know, but he's always watching. He knows we're onto something. I can feel it. Lucy, placing a reassuring hand on Sarah's, we'll figure it out. We'll make copies, hide them. If anything happens, the truth will still get out. Sarah, nodding reluctantly, we need a plan. A solid one. We can't just walk into the police station and hand this over. Lucy, thoughtfully, what about someone we trust? Someone who can help without drawing too much attention? Sarah, thinking there's Officer Daniels. He used to work with my dad. He's trustworthy and discreet. Lucy, smiling slightly, that's a start. We contact him, but only after we're sure the documents are safe. Sarah, nervous, and if he's not on our side? Lucy, firmly, then we move on to plan B. But we can't let doubt paralyze us. Sarah, sighing, okay. We'll do this tonight. We'll meet Officer Daniels and see where he stands. But first, we need a safe place for these. Lucy, nodding, I know a place. My aunt's old cottage out of town. It's secluded, no one would think to look there. Sarah, determined, let's do it. Tonight. No turning back. Lucy, reassuring, we've got this, Sarah. Together, we're stronger than him. They share a determined look, the weight of their decision hanging heavily between them. Cafe night. Sarah and Lucy step out into the cool night air, the city lights twinkling above them. They move with purpose, ready to face the uncertain road ahead. James, nodding, I'll get the documents ready. We need to make sure the meeting is private. No one can know what we're doing. Lucy, looking around the dimly lit room, I know a place. An old warehouse by the docks. It's out of sight, and no one ever goes there at night. James pauses, considering we'll need to be careful though. The guard might have spies in places we don't expect. It's not just the boss we need to watch, it's everyone around him. Lucy, clenching her fists, will keep it small. Just you, me, and the boss. We'll have everything ready, the documents, the proof. We get him on our side, we break this wide open. James, sighing, and what if he turns us in? What if this whole plan goes south? Lucy, determined, then we'll have a backup. We can't afford to hesitate. The stakes are too high now. We've come too far. James, grins, I like the way you think. Later that night, they arrive at the warehouse, the air thick with tension. The place is abandoned, the only sound the distant hum of city traffic. They move cautiously, their hearts pounding in anticipation. Lucy, whispering, stay close. He should be here any minute. The sound of footsteps approaches, and the boss steps into the dim light. He looks around, his face shadowed by the hood of his jacket. Boss, gruffly, you two better have something good. The clock's ticking. Lucy, handing over the documents, we do. These are the files that prove the guard's involvement in everything from the smuggling ring to the covert operations. You can't ignore this anymore. James, quietly, this is bigger than we thought. If we expose this, everything changes. The boss examines the documents, his brow furrowing as he flips through them. His eyes narrow, his lips pressing into a thin line. Boss, after a long silence, this could ruin everything. But it's exactly what we need. Pauses, looking them both over, you two better be sure about this. Once we go down this path, there's no turning back. Lucy, resolutely, we're sure. Let's take them down. Suddenly, a loud crash echoes from the shadows. A figure emerges, followed by two more, their faces covered. The guard. Leader of the guard, smirking, thought you could outsmart us? You should have known better, Lucy. James, grabbing Lucy's arm, it's a trap. The boss steps forward, his hand pulling out a gun. Boss, coldly, no. It's not a trap. You two, you're the ones who were being watched. Boss, shocked, I can't believe this. I trusted him. Sarah, urgently, we need to act fast. The guard is already on his way to the vault. If we don't stop him now, all of this will be for nothing. Lucy, nervously, but we can't just barge in there. We don't know who else might be involved. It could be a setup. Boss pauses, thinking you're right. We need to be careful. The last thing we need is for this to blow up in our faces. But I can't let him get away with this. We've worked too hard. Sarah flips through the documents, scanning for crucial details. Sarah, we have enough evidence. If we're careful, we can expose everything. The guard's shift ends in 10 minutes, and the backup security system will go offline for a 5-minute window. We'll have to move quickly. Lucy, anxious, are we sure the backup system will go down? What if it's just another trap? Boss, gritting his teeth, it's a risk we have to take. If we don't act now, we'll lose everything. Trust me, I know the system. I built it myself. The window's real. Sarah and Lucy exchange a glance. They both know the stakes are high. Sarah, decisively, we'll need to divide up. I'll handle the tech side, override the system, and create a distraction. Lucy, you and the boss will have to deal with the guard. Make sure no one else gets involved. Lucy, nodding, understood. Boss stands up, his face hardening with determination. Boss, no one leaves with that information. Let's do this. Minutes later, they reach the vault's door. Sarah is typing frantically on a laptop, while Lucy and the boss watch the hallway for any signs of movement. Sarah, muttering, almost there, just need another minute. Lucy, whispering, someone's coming. We don't have much time. Sarah's fingers move faster, her eyes flicking between the screen and the door. Boss, grabbing Lucy's arm, if he gets here first, we'll never get out. Do what you have to do. Lucy, nodding steely, I will. Certainly. Here's the continuation, focusing on key decisions the characters must make under pressure. Sarah, breathing quickly, I'm almost in. Just a few more seconds. Lucy, watching the guard's movement, he's getting closer. We have no choice but to act now. Boss, we can't wait any longer. Boss, stepping forward, we'll have to take the risk. Lucy, you know what to do. Sarah, finish what you started. Sarah's fingers hover over the keyboard as the door to the vault cracks open with a soft beep. The tension escalates as the sound of footsteps grows louder. Sarah, urgent to herself, come on, come on. Lucy, to the boss, we can't wait for her. I'll distract the guard. You get in there and grab the files. Don't waste time thinking about it. Do it. Boss, pausing, then nodding resolutely, no turning back now. Let's go. Lucy, moving swiftly, I'll cover you. Lucy darts toward the hallway, her movements calculated. The guard's footsteps are closer now, his form emerging from the shadows. She steps into his path, blocking him just as he's about to pass by. Lucy, smiling coldly, where do you think you're going, handsome? Guard, pausing, frowning, what the? Move aside, this is no time for games. Lucy, taunting, oh, it's very much time for games. Trust me. You wouldn't want to go any further. The guard narrows his eyes, clearly suspicious, but Lucy maintains her confident stance. Lucy, low, intense, the boss is in the vault. If you want to stop him, you'll have to go through me. You really want to do that? The guard hesitates, weighing his options. Meanwhile, inside the vault. Sarah, desperately, just one more line of code, come on. Suddenly, the vault door opens fully, revealing stacks of documents, including the ones they need. The boss rushes in, grabbing the files with shaking hands. Boss, whispering fiercely, we've got what we need. Let's go now. But just as the boss turns to exit, a blaring alarm erupts, echoing through the halls. Sarah, panicking, no. The system's been triggered. Lucy, to the guard, grinning, nice job. You just set off the alarm. Guard, staring at her in disbelief, wait, you planned this? Lucy, grabbing his collar, pulling him closer, you could say that. And now you're in the way. Boss, Quickly, we don't have time to fight. We need to make a decision. What's our best shot? Sarah, sweating, glancing at the door ventilation system. If we move fast enough, we can get out before they know we're gone. Lucy, scanning the hall, nodding it's our best option. Let's go. Boss, gritting his teeth fine. Lead the way, Lucy. With no more time to lose, Lucy heads toward the ventilation shaft, Sarah following close behind. The boss, holding the files tight, brings up the rear. The sound of approaching footsteps grows louder,